Level 1. The bike. You wake up at 5:47 a.m. The alarm doesn't ring twice. You pull on a jacket that smells like last night's rain and grab your helmet off the floor. The bike outside is old, scratched, but it runs. You open the app. 3 orders waiting in Gulberg, 1 in DHA. You take all 4. This is Tuesday. This is every Tuesday. You deliver biryani, burgers, medicine for someone's grandfather, a birthday cake that sweats in the box. 42 kilometers today, 12 deliveries, 1100 rupees. You eat 1 meal, standing up. Outside a shop, you're not building anything yet. You're just surviving. But you notice something. Every restaurant you stop at, the owner is sitting, watching, while 10 riders like you do the running for him. You file that thought away. Level 2. The shortcut. 3 months in, you know every road in the city better than Google Maps. You know which area orders the most on Friday night. You know which restaurant always runs 5 minutes late. You know which customers tip and which ones leave you standing in the rain. That knowledge is worth something. You start taking double shifts. Not because the app tells you to, because you've mapped out a pattern no one else has cracked. Midweek, 7 p.m, the ghost kitchen in your town gets overwhelmed. Their riders call in late. You're always there early. The owner notices. His name is Usman. He's 26. He's running 3 cloud brands from 1 kitchen. He offers you a permanent route, guaranteed orders, slightly better cut. You say yes, but you're watching how he runs things, the margins, the timing, the packaging. You're not just delivering anymore, you're studying. Level 3. The first rupee you didn't earn on a bike. It starts small. Your cousin needs something delivered across the city. Not food, just a package. He asks if you can handle it. You charge him 500 rupees. It takes 20 minutes. That's more per hour than anything the app has ever paid you. You tell 2 friends. They tell 2 more. Within a month, you're running small errands for 7 different people. Documents, samples, parts from one shop to another. No app fee, no commission cut, straight to your pocket. You buy a second phone, one for the delivery app, one for your private clients. You're quiet about it. You don't post anything. You don't brag. But something has shifted in you. You used to think about today's orders. Now you think about next month. Level 4, the network. You recruit 2 other riders, guys you trust from the same routes. You don't call it a business, not yet. You call it an arrangement. They handle the app orders. You handle the private clients. You split fairly. The 3 of you cover more ground than one person ever could. Clients start asking for more, faster, more reliable. A small clothing brand in Model Town wants daily pick and drop across 5 locations. They offer a monthly retainer, 15,000 rupees, consistent. Every month you shake on it. That night you sit in your room and do the math on a notepad. If you have 5 clients like this, that's 75,000 a month. Without the app, without a boss, without the helmet in the rain. Your hands are shaking slightly, not from fear, from the weight of what you're starting to see. Level 5, the operation. You register the business, a logistics company, small, lean, 5 riders, 3 corporate clients, 1 e-commerce store that needs daily warehouse to customer runs. You rent a tiny office, 1 room, 1 shelf, 1 whiteboard. The whiteboard has routes, schedules, costs, revenue. Every morning you update it. You stop riding yourself, not because you can't, because your time is now worth more behind the board than on the road. The money is different now. Not just bigger, structured, invoices, GST, bank transfers. You hire a part-time accountant, a girl fresh out of college who works 3 clients at once. You buy a better phone, a used laptop. You still eat simple. You still live in the same apartment. But you're moving differently. People who knew you from the rider days, they look at you differently now. Not everyone is happy about it. Level 6. The offer you almost refused. A man named Farhan calls you. He runs a mid-sized e-commerce platform, 40 orders a day, growing fast. He's been burned by 2 logistics partners already. He wants exclusivity. You'd be his only logistics company, handle all deliveries. In exchange, guaranteed volume, higher per delivery rate, and a small stake in his business. A stake in someone else's company. Your accountant tells you it's risky. You'd need to scale up fast. More riders, more bikes, more everything. Your gut says, take it. You take it. The first week is chaos. 2 riders call in sick. 1 package gets lost. Farhan calls you, voice tight. You handle it personally. Jump on a bike for the first time in 8 months. You deliver the package yourself. Farhan sees this, doesn't say much. But his next message is simple. You're different. Let's grow this. Level 7. The infrastructure. 18 months in. 22 riders on payroll. A small warehouse space in Lahore's industrial zone. A fleet tracking system you paid a developer to build. Your days start with data now. Delivery completion rates. Average time per zone. Cost per kilometre. You know your numbers the way you used to know every street. 3 corporate contracts. 2 e-commerce brands. 1 pharmaceutical distribution pilot. Revenue this month. 4.3 million rupees. Profit margin. Thin, but real. You're not just surviving. You're not just growing. You're building infrastructure. The kind that doesn't depend on you riding a bike in the rain. But the pressure is different now. Heavier. Quieter. You haven't slept well in 6 weeks. Your team is good. But the gaps, the cracks, you're the only one who sees them. Level 8. The cracks. One of your riders is skimming, charging clients extra, pocketing the difference. You find out through a complaint, a small one, easily ignored. You don't ignore it. You audit 3 months of records. The number is bigger than you expected. You let him go. Quietly. No drama. But 2 other riders were friends with him. They slow down. Deliveries start arriving late. 1 client calls to warn you. You feel it. The thing no one tells you about when you're starting out. The moment a business becomes about managing people and not just managing routes. You're not a rider anymore, but you're also not yet fully a leader. You're somewhere in between, and that's the most dangerous place to be. Level 9, the empire. 2 years and 4 months after your first delivery. You are sitting in a meeting room, in a commercial building in Gulberg, not delivering, not calculating, presenting to a logistics conglomerate, looking to acquire regional last-mile companies. They've been watching your numbers for 4 months. They offer you a buyout. Partial, 40% stake, cash up front, enough to clear every debt, pay your team 6 months in advance, take a breath, or you keep going, alone, build until you own the whole thing. Your accountant says sell a portion, smart, safe. Farhan, your first real client, says keep going. He believes in the ceiling you haven't hit yet. You look at the contract in front of you. You think about the bike, the rain, the 1100 rupees. You think about how many riders are out there right now, doing exactly what you did, not seeing what you saw. You pick up the pen. Level 10. The truth. Here's what they don't show you in the success stories. The version where you took the deal. You got stability, not glory. You work inside the conglomerate now, reporting to people who never sat on a bike. The version where you didn't. 3 more years of chaos. 2 failed expansions. 1 near bankruptcy. And then a second offer, bigger, on your terms. Both are true. Both are possible. The difference wasn't the contract. The difference was what you were willing to lose. Most people on that bike, they're not riding to survive. They're riding because no one ever showed them that the map in their head is worth more than the road beneath their tires. You saw it. That's the only reason you're in this room. The bike doesn't make you small. What makes you small is never getting off it